Hey, how's it going? It's Dan McDonald. I am the Life Regenerator here on YouTube, and I want to thank you for joining me for today's episode of the Life Regenerator Show. Hi, honey.
Bad timing.
Well,
How much do you want to sell DVDs for?
I would say like 2 for 5.
2 for 5? Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, today's video topic is freedom from pain. This is something that was on my heart. I was in the desert walking this morning, woke up, got out of bed, meditate, and then went on a nice walk. It's so beautiful in Sedona to be able to do that. And I was, just tapping in a little bit, like, what's the video topic for today? Because I want to reach out, send some love out into the world, where freedom from pain came to my mind. So that's what I wanted to talk about in the context of, hey, Life Regenerator, who are you? What do you do? Well, life regeneration, what does it mean? It means just regeneration, to make new again. And one of the most heaviest things that I think is holding most people back, to be honest with you, I know from my own personal experience, that pain that we bury deep inside of us due to the traumas is one of the reasons why we hold ourselves back in the way we act and respond to life the way that we do. And so, speaking from my own personal experience, I wanted to encourage people. Not only do I work in the field of nutrition and the raw fruits and vegetables, which is amazing for the body, because at the level of the physical, you can end up accumulating too much acid waste, and that creates inflammation, and that creates stiffness and pain. And that's pretty easy to understand, and also fairly easy to, I would say it's easy to understand, and it's simple, but it's not always easy to implement, because by this time you've got so much habits. Like when you're young and 20, your enzyme load is a lot higher, and your detoxification pathways therefore function a lot better. But as you start to get older through this onslaught of wrong living, then you begin to accumulate, because your body doesn't respirate as well, and the cellular turnover isn't as high, because you begin to lose vitality, because we're not living in accordance with the laws of nature. So you need to kind of like put the brakes on the old habits and do a 180 and go the other direction, which really seems strange in the sense of fruits and vegetables. Now, if you don't have any pain and you don't have any diseases, and you're not working on freeing yourself spiritually, the reason why I still focus on eating really, really clean is because it keeps my mind clear, and it allows me to continue to do this work, which is to free myself from pain. Okay, so as I was looking for ways to free myself from pain, that's how I found the fruits and vegetables, the raw foods, the detoxification, the fasting. Makes sense, right? But progressively, I have evolved with my own way of seeing it. At first I thought it was one way, then I thought it was another. Now I'm seeing it differently, and I'll evolve and continue to expand my understanding of how this works. But what I didn't realize was that there was no way to really free myself from pain through food, except in the sense that, food is one of the most abused exit strategies to help you to not have to face the trauma. You have this trauma, and you say to yourself, as a little tiny being, there is no way in hell I'm ever going to feel that again. So there's no way I'm ever going to let that part of my heart be vulnerable again. So you put layer upon layer upon layer, and you build all these exit strategies, and you also build these defense mechanisms. And I will tell you, I'm the king of defense mechanisms. Like, my friends will be like, everybody, Sophia, family, friends, they'll be like, Dan's a really cool guy, he's awesome, but they'll be realizing after a little time with me that it takes quite a bit for me to open my heart up, if it's not impossible. Like, I haven't in the past connected with people that deeply. That's kind of why this YouTube thing really worked out for me in many ways, and it's been extremely helpful. And that's why I appreciate you so much. But it's came to, as I evolve here, I want to have deeper, more intimate relationships. My relationship with Sophia really brings that up. Seeing that I'm not connecting and waking up to that fact, and then seeing that I'm not really connecting deeply with the people in my lives either. And that was always coming out of this mild anxiety to protect myself from ever having to feel the trauma of abandonment, which is kind of like my issue. You know, I had some counseling, and I have friends like Tavis and Lou that I talk to quite a bit. And they, you know, people see, and you see, like, look at how I've been the last 5 years. People hurt my widow feelings, you know. And but right now, I'm dedicated to becoming a man. Now, as a man, I was always moving through no matter what, even when there was fear around, say, like money or what people think. Like, and I still had to pay my child support, and I had dreams and goals. And a man goes after his goals, so he busts through his fear, knowing that he's going to get up here and sell a DVD, or he's going to sell some enzymes, or he's going to sell some hair care products or something like that. And there's going to be that backlash from those people that haven't quite come to that place yet in their lives, where they're still unconsciously guilty about money or selling things, like selling stuff is wrong or bad. So you push through those things, and now my whole life is about pushing through that fear of rejection, because you just don't want to get hurt anymore. So you build these defense mechanisms, but what you do is you end up shrinking, and you don't have that confidence. Like, oh, okay, you don't like me? Okay, well, that's your loss. You know what I'm saying? You're always protecting yourself. They don't like me? Why is that? You got a room full of people over here who love you, and it's the one person over there who doesn't like you that you focus on. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? You're like, why don't they like me? You know what I'm saying? But none of that kind of stuff is personal, and you learn that as we evolve here together. You know. So freedom from pain. What's happening in my own experience, and the reason why I want to talk about it in that context is because I can't speak of it in any other way. In that, the whole detoxing. Why are you still detoxing? Because I don't think people understand, maybe, when they ask that kind of question, what it is I'm actually detoxing from. Are you toxic? Or do you have like mucoid plaque? I mean, maybe there's a little bit of those things or whatever, but for the most part, it's actually been a detoxification from unconscious self-criticism. Noticing that yesterday, where there was all this doubt, and then what I did is I shifted it back into faith, and I keep shifting this fear, and I realized with my frontal lobe, that's the beauty of the human being with the 33% frontal lobe, is that you can actually generate so much energy up here in the front part of your brain that back here, the unconscious mind, with all your childhood experiences and programming and whatnot, and social programming, as well as billions of years of biological programming as well, you can actually take the frontal lobe and focus on love. And you can focus on your vision, your dreams, and what you want, your desires with your frontal lobe, and that puts you in a good mood, and that makes your body feel good, and that makes you have good energy. But as soon as you start slipping into that doubt and that fear, the body shuts down, the systems shut down. So it's more than just the food. It always has been. The food is real. I mean, if you don't believe me, try eating watermelons for 3 days and see what happens. Mucus will be coming out of your body. You'll feel a lot lighter and freer. You'll start to notice like stiffness and stuff going away. So the food is real. But then there's the other levels too. Like you can have the best diet in the world and still be a total dick, you know? And that's what's happening is when you're doing that, like I have a great diet, but I'm a total dick. You are just protecting, you know, yourself. That's your exit strategy, your mechanism to protect yourself. So we're trying to heal on the Life Regenerator Show at the deepest levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, and it all ties in because you want that love flow to be there. But what stops the flow of love? Well, that is the fear. And the fear causes pain. The fear is in there. And you've got all that pain buried, and you don't want to feel it because it's very unpleasant. But as you evolve and you begin to understand how this works, this is why I'm making this video, to plant the seed in your head. Because unless you're perfect and walking on water and every day is a great day and you're totally free and enlightened, then a video like this may be able to help you because you might be in a good place where all your exit strategies are working, you know what I'm saying? But then all of a sudden, life pulls the carpet out from under you, and all this stuff that you've been hiding from through food, through dysfunctional relationships, through some people use exercise, some people use entertainment, some people use work, some people use money. They use all kinds of different exit strategies. When they come to that place where they really need to face the stuff that's going on inside of them, they cut out, they check out, they quit too easily. And so those exit strategies no longer begin to work as you begin to become evolved. Like, let's say in my example, food. I always used food. Now, the reason why it was so difficult for me to become raw, it took me 12 years, is because when you are using food as an emotional mechanism to buffer yourself from having to actually really truly experience like emptiness, for let's example, and you get to that point where you're eating like raw foods and stuff, and you're getting health and you're feeling good, but then some of your stuff comes up. Well, then raw food doesn't really work. I mean, the gourmet can kind of work, but really there's nothing like a big fat meal of cooked food with a lot of carbohydrates and stuff like that. Like, I remember potatoes and pancakes used to be like a drug for me when the raw foods wouldn't work. Also, years ago, Reese's peanut butter cups, things like that, sugar. And then you can also use the savory, like nothing like a big old pizza to knock you out. The carbohydrates in there are just they're a sedative. And so you don't have to feel. Well, you get to the point where you start having these goals of purification, like me, for example, like purifying my body, my heart, and my mind, because intuitively I know, like, okay, something's not right here because I'm not totally stoked, happy, joyful, blissful, when I know that I should be, because that's my true nature. And I keep digging this stuff out and excavating my heart through this process of actually going, okay, I'm going to water fast, I'm going to juice fast, and then that'll keep you going, but it also forces you to face that personal exit strategy, which, there's the porn exit strategy, there's the food exit strategy, there's the, exercise was another one. So I had all these things. But as I evolved, they began to not work anymore because my awareness became so much more expanded. So I was like, okay, you're just escaping, dude. And then if you want to truly evolve and get where you're going and gain freedom from pain and freedom from fear, you're going to have to dive deep into your deeply buried emotions and layer after layer peel that stuff off, because over the last year, it's been even more intense. It was always there, and then like what we call the haters would really bother me. And I'm not completely free from that, but I am pretty much like, compared to where I was, I'm pretty much like at about 90%, because there's still some tinges left. I'm still working on myself, and I think that's why I'm making this video. I've released so much. I've opened up my heart so much more in this relationship, and put out an effort to open up to the people in my life a little bit more and say, hey, I know how I am, but I want you to know that I really appreciate you. And I know how I am, that I do that I don't connect with people because of that anxiety that I've had. Because when that fear and pain is buried in there, and your whole life is built around keeping yourself from having to feel that again, so many things can threaten that. You see what I'm saying? You have to set up all these walls. Well, I'm breaking down the walls myself because I want to open myself up to true intimacy in this life, in every area of my life. So, with Sophia, it's been opening up. It's been very difficult, very challenging, but it's, she's so worth it to me. She's the one that came to help me through this, and she's the one that's cracked open my shell, which has helped me with my friends, which has helped me to open up more here on the YouTube, which has helped me to open up next. I'm going to go see my kids. And this time I feel like, okay, because there was a lot of hurt there too, a long story. My ex-wife would steal my car, and they were gone for 2 years. I never saw my kids. So you just put another layer over, like, whoa, this woman has complete control. Like, we get along now a lot better because of me and her both evolving. In fact, we're friends now, and we talk a lot. And she's awesome. But at first, it wasn't cool. I never met either one of my kids till they were 6 months. So I was like, where's my kids? You know what I'm saying? Like, I got these kids, and I don't even know where they are because the people that were helping Terry wouldn't let me see them. He's a bad person. I was never a bad person. I might have been on drugs. I might have been homeless. But I was never a bad person, and I've never hit a woman or anything like that. I've never hit my kids, I've never even yelled at my kids. I just talk to my kids. So anyways, that there is the next step, because I've been peeling away layer after layer, and it's not been easy. It's been hard to function here on the YouTube for the last year. And there's a lot of people watching from the beginning. They're like, something's off with Dan. But it's just that I've been going through this process of heart purification. And I would say over the last year, particularly the last 6 months, I have released thick layers of debris. And I'm getting so much closer to freedom from fear and from being rejected is basically it. Like there's this thing that's like that doubt. It was at the meditation. I'm just gonna go on until this thing quits or something, or I was gonna be kind of short, but the good stuff is coming here, where I was sitting on the back porch meditating, and all this doubt was coming from the back of my brain, like this doubt. It's like, you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you can't make it work, just give up on your dream. And then I was just like, and that's when I had that experience of pulling the energy into my frontal lobe and just not negating that doubt and fear and bringing in that vision of what I would like to see arise. And I just keep hope and faith and vision and success here on the Life Regenerator channel. Personal success with even my own physical health, still working on that. I'm pretty damn healthy, dude, you know what I'm saying? But it's really, once this heart gets purified, then it's going to really blossom, because that's where the main energy vortex is. And if there's crusty, old pain buried still, it's going to obstruct the flow of the heart to be able to love unconditionally and freely and totally. So that's my goal, because then there's that freedom there. You're like, oh, okay, it's cool. You don't worry about what people think because you love yourself, you see? So really right now, I've been working on loving myself, which is, of course, frowned upon in our society, but screw that. Like, I love you, Dan. This is something I say over and over again. I do it when I'm by myself, and then, Sophia and I, we do it for each other. I love you, I love you, I love you. Back and forth. It's a really great exercise to do with your friend, or mostly with your mate, or whatever, your partner in whatever capacity that is. But you just go back and forth. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You say it authentically, and you just say it, but then it'll make you cry, or you'll start laughing, or you'll feel better, or you'll feel worse, or you'll start to feel all that. You'll feel that like resistance. I'm not even worthy of love. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And then when you're by yourself, you say it to yourself, I love you. I love you, Dan. And you just keep on cultivating that love for yourself, so that you become your own best friend, so that you become your own best company, so that when you're by yourself, you're stoked. There's nobody else you want to be with. Are you like that? Because I'm getting more to that way. I've always kind of had that. But I think it was also one of my exit strategies as well. Like, oh, screw the world. I can just go off, be by myself, and stay entertained and excited with long bike rides, or traveling around, or going to new places, but just always avoiding myself. And there was always this constant, like I said, this mild anxiety, which to this very day, as I get more advanced, as I get more sensitive to what's going on inside of me, I can see that. So I had to come to the terms and the realization that the way that I teach is to talk about myself, which, this guy's a narcissist, this guy's an ego. And again, there's that thing, the defending myself, like defending myself with the money, trying to wish that people could understand, and see, oh, if they heard the whole story, if they really knew me, they wouldn't judge me like that. Well, that's actually their problem, and always some kind of unconscious projection or exit strategy for themselves, see? That's their exit strategy, to criticize others, so they don't have to deal with their pain. So what you do is you realize, oh wow, that person has a different kind of exit strategy than I do, but they're still doing whatever they have to do to avoid the pain of looking at themselves and feeling their own heart. And then when that process starts happening and the fear and pain starts to be purged, it can be very, very, oh, Lord have mercy, just exhausting, challenging, But you know that if you want to get healthy, if you want to lose the weight, if you want to eliminate the disease, if you want to get joy back in your life, and if you want to improve your relationships with everyone and everything, including yourself, that process is necessary. And that's why I'm saying freedom from pain. You're looking at the raw foods and the high water fruits and the herbs and vegetables, that can just alkalize. That gets rid of the physical pain. Then the ability to allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to feel your heart, to allow that process to quit using the exit strategies. And just, I feel terrible, this fear is coming up, what happened 19 years ago when I was a little girl, and now I'm going to go out and party with my friends or call someone or watch a soap opera or smoke something or drink something or eat something or exit strategy. Instead, when that comes up and you start to feel that, it's like, oh God, I can't believe that person did that to me. Like it's a real traumatic type experience or something like, some kind of abuse. I'll let you use your imagination. It doesn't matter because for all of us, it's something different. Some of us had really rich parents, but no love. Some of us had no love, or some of us had a lot of love, but no finances, or, and there was always poor. You was like, oh, you wear the same shirt every day or whatever. And now you have this thing in back here, this programming. So when that time comes up and that starts to arise, this is the opportunity that you use. I feel terrible. It looks like I'm going to start falling back on my exit strategies, particularly when it comes to the food. That's the biggest one because no one really ever even gets it for, okay, I need to quit smoking heroin. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty obvious. Oh, I need to quit being a drunk and start drinking mojitos by 9 and by 4 o'clock I'm already wasted and already have put away a half bottle of Jack Daniels or something. That's pretty obvious exit strategies, alcoholism, drugs, sex and things like that. But the one of the exit strategies that's the most popular, adrenaline is another one, but food. Food is the biggest exit strategy there is, probably. It must be. Look at our country, look at our nation, look at our food supply, look at the gas station. There's not a stitch of food in there, maybe a couple bananas. So when you get to that place where you start feeling that and you look like you're about to go on one of these exit strategies, you just say no. And then you actually take that time and you go lay down or you go meditate, you go be by yourself and you actually dive deep. And you dive and you actually allow yourself to feel it. Now sometimes this can happen for days, for minutes, hours, days, weeks, or months. I've been going through this process for months. I can't believe I barely held it together, but I have to keep pressing ahead on my vision for myself, my purpose here on the YouTube. And that's why I'm saying what I say, like, hi, I'm Dan, and let's talk about me. Well, then you can just take that and you can say, I have that too. My hope is that somehow through me sharing my story here that you gain some clarity and freedom around how you can get some more peace and freedom and equanimity yourself. So when that challenge comes up, I just simply want to encourage you to actually dive into it, to not even run anymore, to see how bold and strong and courageous that you can be in the face of your own pain. And then you cleanse the heart, and last but not least, the mind coming from, here's all this doubt, fear, shame, grief, guilt, and then actually planting seeds of faith, using your mind to stay focused on faith and love and your vision, and not letting the little doubter, and when the little doubter comes up, not good enough, not strong enough, can't do it, then you bring it up and you say, no, I can do this. I'm holding this vision. I'm going to believe. The universe is conspiring right now. It doesn't look good, but you've got this vision for your life, and things don't look good over here in the natural. But actually, behind the scenes, in an infinite context, you're getting exactly what you need in order for your vision to arise. That's why I say be persistent and don't give up. People give up too easily on their diet plans and changing their life that way. It takes years to get this, usually, to really master it. People give up way too easy on relationships. They give up too easy on their vision because they're like, oh, this whole thing's falling apart, I'm going to run. That's another exit strategy, is fear of failure, and to prove that, once again, I'm not good enough. You see? So you just get up and you keep on pressing ahead. You suck in your chest and you just courageously walk through fear, discomfort, and pain. and you do so with the warrior spirit, knowing that it's exactly what you need right now in order for you to grow and evolve. Because sometimes life isn't really super simple and easy. That what you're getting is exactly what you need, and there can be prolonged periods of adversity. And, I wouldn't change a thing during those prolonged periods of adversity now that I look back, because those are exactly what I need to evolve, to live a deeper purpose, to make videos like this, to share with you, so that we can all find freedom from pain. Thank you very much for your courage, your persistence, your patience with yourself, and your love for yourself. Today's the day to start learning how to be your own best friend and the person you want to be with the most. Can you dig it?